Dear Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, my friends, family, and I, all from Minnesota, urge you to support the End Tuberculosis Now Act. When the global pandemic of COVID-19 began in 2020, tuberculosis cases rose quickly alongside it. The tuberculosis epidemic causes more deaths than HIV, AIDS, and malaria combined. Tuberculosis disproportionately affects those who are living in poverty, and the effects of COVID-19 in 2020 have only exacerbated this issue.
Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that targets the lungs or even the brain, kidneys, and spine. Without proper access to treatment and medical resources, those who contract tuberculosis will die. Tuberculosis is more likely to spread in poorly ventilated and overcrowded conditions, which are often the work environments of those living in poverty.
Those most affected by tuberculosis are vulnerable communities. This includes migrant communities, those who struggle with substance abuse or mental illness, those who are homeless or live in poor quality housing, those with weak immune system, or people with a history of being in prison.
I want to inform you about tuberculosis. Not only does tuberculosis affect those in poverty the greatest, but it exacerbates the problem. People who become ill become jobless for up to 3 to 4 months, or even result in death of a family member. Without proper action, more money has to be directed towards healthcare services. Many with a history of tuberculosis are also discriminated against in the workplace. These are all the ways tuberculosis can negatively impact the economy and push people further into poverty.
And today we're going to be talking about poverty and how the effects of global poverty impact the U.S. role within the international trade and economy. It's so important that we recognize what we can do as one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we must also acknowledge that this is not a isolated situation. Supporting those affected by tuberculosis epidemic is the right thing to do and a smart thing to do.